Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to today's discussion hosted by the Institute of Regional Studies. It is an honor to introduce an individual of profound expertise in the realm of Pakistan-Afghanistan relations. Salman Javed, an alumnus of Harvard Kennedy School, is a seasoned public policy practitioner and has demonstrated a commitment to promoting Pakistan's public diplomacy, particularly in areas where the nation's narrative was underrepresented. Currently serving as the Director General of Pak Afghan Youth Forum, Mr. Javed also assumes a pivotal role in managing South Asia Times and serves as a board member for the Maritime Study Forum in Islamabad. Over the course of 15 years, Salman has been at the forefront of numerous policy driven initiatives. As the Vice President at the Center for Peace, Security and Developmental Studies in Karachi, he played a pivotal role in conceptualizing the DBTV web television service. His contributions extend to the initiation of Voice of Balochistan in collaboration with the Balochistan government, Mere Log, a youth-led philanthropy and rehabilitation platform, and Stratagem, one of the pioneering electronic magazines featuring articles in social science research. He also contributed to the establishment of Center for Strategic and Contemporary Research. For his dedication and initiatives, Salman Javed was honored with the prestigious Pride of Pakistan Award in 2021. We are pleased to have him as a speaker for today's eminent speaker series, where he will share his insights on the critical topic of coal trade shakeup, discussing Pakistan and Afghanistan relations under the spotlight.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Nadeem Riaz, for inviting me once again to your prestigious institution to deliver this talk on a current issue which is right now occurring between Pakistan and Afghanistan. There are many issues right now going on between Pakistan and Afghanistan, especially with regards to the security aspect. There is a build-up of terrorist activities on the northern side of Pakistan in Chitral area. But apart from that, there are other issues which are concerning to both countries. One of them is the coal trade of Pakistan and Afghanistan, the import and export of coal trade. So I'm going to present some slides to you before getting into the details of this issue. And then we will discuss in an open forum. I would like that we keep it as interactive as much we can, so that you may ask me the question and I can deliver the answers to you. So the background is that Pakistan और अफगानिस्तान का जो कोल का import और export का मामला है, ये previous regime से चला आ रहा है. Okay, sir. So the coal import and export is been happening since very long between Pakistan and Afghanistan, but it was not that much of significance when the previous regime, the Ghani regime or the Karzai regime, was in place in Afghanistan. Pakistan's coal import in last 2 years, since the takeover of Kabul by the interim government of Afghanistan, has been, have seen an uptick mark 3 times from 2021. IEA almost earned $160 million in tax only through the exports of coal towards Pakistan. This shows the quite significant amount of exports that have been carried out by the IEA towards Pakistan. It has been said and it has been calculated that the first fiscal budget of IEA, which was around 320 million Afghani rupees, when they announced that fiscal budget, and they claimed that they have raised this amount through their indigenous resources, not by any aid or by any other monetary inflow of cash inside Afghanistan. From that 320 million Afghani rupees, around 80% was constituted of this $160 million, which they earned from Pakistan. So 80% of the fiscal budget of the first year of Afghan interim government was possible because Pakistan allowed them a breathing space to export their goods, not only other goods, but also significantly coal towards Pakistan. So coal mining tax was initially set. The problem, what's the problem right now? What's the issue right now with Afghanistan's coal trade from the Pakistani side? The Pakistani side was considering that due to the geographical proximity, will be able to, get some cheaper coal from Afghanistan side, because before that, Pakistan is getting coal from either from Indonesia or South Africa, mainly from Indonesia. And most of the plants in Pakistan, the power plants and the cement plants, and then the other areas where coal is consumed, they use that coal, which is either been extracted from the local mines or been imported from South Africa or Indonesia. But when the regime change operation happened in Kabul and Taliban took over, Pakistan considered this as an opportunity and thought that we would import something from Afghanistan on a more cheaper rate. We'll have a geographical proximity, the supply chain element, the economy of supply chain will reduce down, and we will benefit the economy not only of Afghanistan but also of Pakistan, especially the power sector of Pakistan. But what happened then, that Afghanistan was charging around 1,200 Afghani rupees as a tax on the exports of coal towards Pakistan. What they did in 2020, 2022, that they raised that tax to 2,500 Afghani rupees, almost the double of that amount on per ton export towards Pakistan. After certain negotiations and when Pakistan raised concerns in almost every other meeting with Afghanistan's official, they reduced that tax towards 2,200 Afghani rupees. It's like almost a trick being played with Pakistan. The custom duty, however, was reduced from $45 to $30. This was again not a very significant reduction when it comes down to the huge amount of coal being imported towards Pakistan. Almost 25,000 per ton, 25,000 ton per day is being exported from Pakistan, from Afghanistan to Pakistan. The total cost of extraction, which has been carried out at the coal sites of Afghanistan, is around 900 to 1,000 Afghani rupees. But what they charge to Pakistan is almost as like a ludicrous kind of taxation that they have imposed on the exports. The coal contributed 16% of Pakistan's electricity in fiscal year of 2023 and 2024. It may can contribute towards the Pakistan economy. The Afghanistan policy changed the dynamics for Pakistan now. So Pakistan was actually trying to get the coal from Afghanistan and trying to, get the electricity thing, the power sector thing running inside our country so that we may, have a running industry in Pakistan. But these impositions of taxes by the Afghanistan government have changed the dynamics for Pakistan. NEPRA had allowed Afghan coal purchases. Now they have imposed a condition now that we can only purchase coal from Afghanistan if they will, sell that coal to Pakistan on the rates that have been decided in year 2021. Due to the IEA price hikes, Pakistan is now exploring cheap coal options once again, all alternatives from other countries like Indonesia and Malaysia and South Africa, because right now Pakistan is getting 35,000 PKR, around PKR 35,000 per ton coal from Afghanistan. That's the rate of Afghanistan's coal, and around 37 or 40,000 rupees per ton coal from either from Indonesia or from South Africa. So that's not a very significant difference, which Pakistan should not be considering as an alternative if Afghanistan may not change its policies towards Pakistan. These are some statistics of the coal imports from Afghanistan. The daily import right now stands on 25,000 per ton per day minimum for different sectors of Pakistan. The projected daily import in next few years or next few months is 30,000 tons per day. That is the 90% of Afghanistan's total budget right now. 90% of Afghanistan's total fiscal budget. If they start importing this on the terms and conditions of Pakistan, even then they will be covering almost 90% of their fiscal budget through the taxes that they will be imposing on the exports of Pakistan. Then there is Afghanistan's coal trade revenue, that is of August 2021 to May 2022. That is the first fiscal year. That is 33.80 million US dollars that they have earned from the exports towards Pakistan. The custom duty on per ton coal is right now 30%. Like I said, that they reduced it from $45 to $30. Price per ton coal is around 20 to 80 US dollars. Per ton comparison of international available coal options, like I explained in the previous slide, that around 37,000 to 40,000 rupees, Pakistani rupees per ton is the amount or is the cost that we are getting from the other alternative options like Indonesia and Malaysia, and and that is from port to port. That is from Malaysian port to Karachi port, and from Afghanistan we are just getting a discounted price of 35,000 per ton per day. So the coal diplomacy with Pakistan, Afghanistan's win-win scenario. What is the win-win scenario of Afghanistan for Afghanistan? The Afghan coal quality is somewhat better than the coal quality of Pakistan, the indigenous coal quality of Pakistan, but it has a lower sulfur grade. And Pakistan's plants, most of the Pakistan's plants that are running in the power sector, they had to modify, or they have to modify their plants if they have to use the Afghan coal in their plants. So NAPRA and other authorities are considering that they should be using the local coal which has been extracted from the Pakistani mines, because in year 2022 and 2023, Pakistan used around 15 million metric ton coal in different sectors, like in the power sector, in the cement industry, and then in the bricks industry, and then in the household industry. But if Pakistan, and out of that 15 million metric ton, 9 million metric ton was the coal that was extracted from the Pakistani mines. So Pakistani authorities are seriously now considering that instead of importing it from the Afghanistan, the local plants should be using the local coal, and Pakistan may start looking towards the third coal power plant projects. But Afghanistan can get some benefit if again they change their conditions and their policies towards Pakistan. The other issue is the local economic impact is that they will get more employment opportunity. I've seen some mines over there in Afghanistan when I was there. There is a mine when you go outside in the suburbs of Kabul. There are mines which are there, but they're not activated, just because the economic opportunity or the cost opportunity is not feasible for the local businessman right now in Afghanistan. So if they start exporting that coal towards Pakistan on a feasible price, they may get the chance to reactivate those coal mines, and also they can generate local employment opportunities for their people. Then the toll tax benefit, like I said in the earlier slide, that they have earned around a hefty amount from Pakistan's exports. But due to their issues, due to the policies, now there is a fear of reduction of imports from Afghanistan, because Pakistan is considering other alternatives, either from the indigenous coal sites or from Malaysia or South Africa. Then there is another benefit that Afghanistan can get. That is a complete shift away from Afghan coal by Pakistan would severely impact Afghanistan because it covers 90% of GDP and its vital revenue resources, like I said and explained in the earlier slides. Pakistan is the largest export destination for Afghanistan's products, not only coal. It's the largest destination for Afghanistan, other products as well. So if coal exports gets impacted, or if coal trade gets impacted, other goods will also see a reduction of exports towards Pakistan, because the policy will change from the Pakistan side for every other trade. And that will be a huge setback for Afghanistan's current economic scenario. That is one of the reasons that Pakistan is urging Afghanistan to cooperate or collaborate with Pakistan, so that we may have a more robust trade and economic opportunity. In the first quarter of fiscal year 2023, this is the data from Afghanistan Economic Monitor report of World Bank. They said that around 111.6 million tons of coal were exported to Pakistan. And this, again, is a huge amount for a country of 40 million people, which is right now in desperate need of cash, which is in desperate need of economic uplift. And they are imposing policies which may harm them in the long run or in the short run as well. These are some other statistics and data. Like I said, that if coal imports or coal exports will be impacted, then these other areas which Pakistan and Afghanistan are working upon will also get an impact. The bilateral trade between Pakistan and Afghanistan was $741 million, which increased to 66.6% in trade between two countries in last 2 years. And then Pakistan's imports from Afghanistan is around $408 million. This is again a huge amount, which we have seen an uptick in the exports from Afghanistan towards Pakistan after the takeover of Taliban inside Kabul. And this was again a policy from Afghanistan, from Pakistan's side, that since the sanctions were imposed on Afghanistan, and there was a kind of spillover effect towards Pakistan, a huge influx of economic migrants towards Pakistan. So Pakistan thought to give a breathing space to Afghanistan. We opened, like we had previously, we had 2 passes, just Turkham and Chaman, but then we opened 3 more passes just for the trade and economic activities with Afghanistan. And out of those products, like I've listed over here, the pharma product, the fruit and vegetable, the rice minerals, and other oil products, the coal was the most significant export from Afghanistan towards Pakistan. But now, like I said, that if Afghanistan's policy will not change, or if they will not show some flexibility towards Pakistan, then obviously all these trade elements, all these products and goods will also get an impact. So this was Pakistan export to Afghanistan was 330 million in last 2 years. Now you can see a kind of trade deficit or a trade imbalance over here. This was for the first time in 75 years of history in between Pakistan and Afghanistan that the trade balance was tilted towards Afghanistan. The export balance was tilted towards Afghanistan. And this was a deliberate policy option that Pakistan opted for, so that again, to give some kind of, shoulder, some kind of breathing space to a brotherly neighboring country, and also, transform or materialize it into something more substantial for both countries in the realm of economic opportunity and regional connectivity. But unfortunately, there is a kind of decline of cooperation and collaboration between the two countries in past few months, mainly because of the security concerns. Like the main concern of Pakistan right now with Afghanistan is TTP, and we have seen some development in last few weeks as well. But other areas are also getting affected. And one of them is the trade economy, and in trade and economy particularly, it's the coal product. So this was a brief from my side. If you have any questions, then I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much. The floor is now open to questions or comments. I would advise to keep it short so we get a lot of people. Salman.
Why the Afghans are not flexible? Since the trade deficit is in their favor, trade balance is in their favor.
I'm sorry, I was not sure that the presentation is not running, because I was running it on my laptop.
Okay.
So it was run?
No,
okay.
it was there. So I just wanted to know the reason behind the no flexibility. Why the Afghans are not showing the flexibility, even despite the fact that this is going to cover the 90% of their budget?
Afghanistan is well. There is a mistake from Pakistan side in this regard. Our former Prime Minister, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif, he tweeted one fine morning and said that we are earning and securing a lot of dollars by importing coal from Afghanistan, because there is a kind of cheaper coal available from Afghanistan side. This triggered a kind of backlash from Afghanistan side, especially from the diaspora of Afghanistan, because obviously they have a kind of hostility towards Pakistan, especially in the political side. And due to that backlash, the Afghanistan's interim government, they saw an opportunity and they raised the prices. And they said that since our people are not happy with this policy, and they think that Pakistan, they see us as a proxy of Pakistan, and they see that we are actually allowing Pakistan to exploit the mineral resources of Afghanistan. So we have no other option but to raise the prices and sell it to you in, in other market terms. So this was something which was initiated by our side. Also, the Prime Minister, in a very unprecedented manner, deleted his tweet, because all the tweets of Prime Minister needs to be, archived in a proper manner. But that tweet was deleted, but the damage was done. And since then, the Afghanistan side is not, going back on this policy of their, price raise. So this was the main reason. It is I know this firsthand because I was personally involved in this thing, because I raised this and I raised a flag on that tweet, because when I woke up in the morning and I saw that tweet, I sent it to the authorities and said that this tweet will have a damaging effect on our coal imports. And by evening, the mining minister in Afghanistan, he issued a statement, and then the Deputy Minister for Economics and Trade in Afghanistan, they issued a statement, and the next morning there is the prices. So since then we are actually suffering from that side. But Pakistan assured them that there are many other logical reasons to justify this price which Pakistan is offering them, and it is according to the negotiated price. But they saw an opportunity and they're now cashing on it. So this is something which has been discussed many times, obviously in the circles of environmentalists, and obviously in the policy circles as well, that we need to abandon the use of coal in the coming years, and this has a huge environmental hazard, and therefore Pakistan or other countries have to look towards other alternatives of power productions. But since we do not have much, or we are a energy scarce country, we do not have much other options, so we have to rely on coal for now. What options Pakistan will be getting in the next few years? Probably that is the one reason that Pakistan actually needs to have a corridor towards Central Asian countries, because from Central Asian countries we are expecting to have a gas pipeline towards Pakistan. If gas comes to Pakistan, then obviously Pakistan will have other alternative options. But since that is not happening pretty much soon, then Pakistan have to rely on coal. The other part of the question is, yes, they are exporting it to other countries, but not that much. Their major destination is Pakistan. Yes.
What's the local consumption of coal?
Sir, it's quite low, because their industry is not in a working condition right now. So they are relying on the exports right now. Most of their consumption is, their exports are much higher than their local consumptions. That is the actual reality over there. जी, आपका question था.
All right. I have a question as well. My question is, one, why aren't they considering this trade through it as via border trade? Second, is there some impact of international sanctions on the trade between Pakistan and Afghanistan? Number two, if Pakistan threatens Afghanistan with lack of economic activity of any sort, first, you did mention Afghanistan as IEA, which means there's some sort of recognition of the Taliban government. Is the government of Pakistan then also considering a possibility of the current Afghanistan government retaliating with some political instability in the region or not? Right. Border trade के जरिए क्यों नहीं करे? फिलहाल Pakistan is buying coal, तो border trade के जरिए क्यों नहीं?
So the barter trade mechanism was discussed between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and there is a significant development where Pakistan and Afghanistan have agreed upon that they will carry out barter trade between the two countries, but in certain aspects of goods and trades. They will not go for an all-out barter trade right now. They will go with a gradual process if there will be a longer process of sanctions being imposed on Afghanistan. So probably there will be some kind of development you will see in coming days or coming months, if the security concerns of Pakistan may be addressed by the Afghanistan side. That is one. The other is you were asking about the IEA and the recognition and all that. IEA, we call it IEA because first, it is IEA. They call themselves IEA. They do not call themselves TTA because that is a jargon being used by either by the Western scholars or by the Pakistani scholars, not by the entity itself, the Salman. So right now they're in the government. That is a reality. That is a fact, whether we like it or not. So you have to call them what they call themselves. Number one, that's one. That is one of the basic diplomatic norms that you have to carry out. Whether you have, a kind of opposing view, worldview, or political view from them, or allergical view from them, but you have to, adhere to these principles. And the second thing is, yes, there is a de facto recognition of Afghanistan's interim government. That is why there is a trade and economic and other agreements in place between Afghanistan and Pakistan. That is why they are negotiating a $6.77 billion mining agreement with 7 different countries from 7 different world from different part of the world, including China, Brazil, South Africa, and now the United States as well. So and the European Union as well. So it's not only Pakistan, which is right now negotiating with the interim government of Afghanistan. It is the world which is negotiating with them. So we get to that reality and get that straight in our heads, or we will lag behind. The third one is about the border issue, the political instability. Afghanistan probably is doing that already. And that is one of the major reasons that Pakistan is, taking certain steps to, coerce their political regime over there so that they may listen to Pakistan. Right now, they are stubborn. Right now, they are not very much listening to Pakistan, but probably there will be an impact of whatever is going on right now in Chitral or in other border areas of Pakistan. They have imposed in the previous regime when Ghani was there, Pakistani currency was very much in place in Afghanistan up till Kabul. But in the border areas, it was very much in place. And people, the local traders and the local people, they were very much using the Pakistani currency apart from the dollars and the Afghani currency. It's called Kaldar over there. So Pakistani currency was then the previous regime when Mia Khail was the governor of Nangarhar, he imposed a ban on Pakistani currency in Nangarhar. And there were some southern provinces left in Afghanistan which were still using the Pakistani currency. But yesterday, and then back in October 2022, the current Afghan regime, they also imposed a ban on the total use of Pakistani currency inside Afghanistan. But that was not, imposed in literal senses. That was just an announcement. But yesterday they have, issued a decree from the Habazullah's office that now Pakistani currency will not be used in next 2 months. Then they have to abandon using this currency, and then Pakistani currency will not be seen in Afghanistan. So this is a kind of political move from their side to, coerce back Pakistan's tactics, because Pakistan is right now, closing down Turkham border, putting some pressure on the Chaman border and other passes as well. And there is the operation going on the Chitral side. So yeah, they have their moves, we have our moves, but I don't think so that will impact largely the Pakistani state, but it will impact the local traders.
We have another question from an intern.
Pakistan right now, for last 2-3 days, you might be hearing news and watching news on the TV that there's a crackdown going on the Afghanistan, on the dollarizations, or the people who are holding dollars or smuggling dollar out of Pakistan. So we get updates daily from Afghanistan, and just a week ago or 10 days ago, the rate in Afghanistan of dollar was dropped down to almost 70 Afghani rupees against $1. And today the rate over there is almost 81 rupees. So it has risen. So the crackdown has an impact on this, and Afghanistan is banning Pakistani currency over because of this policy which has been imposed over here in Pakistan. So there are some manners, some bold steps that Pakistani authorities will have to take. They are probably taking, but I think still they are very lenient, and they need to have a strict crackdown on all those people who were holding all these products, including dollars, and smuggling it towards Afghanistan. And unfortunately, almost every other stakeholder in Pakistan was involved in this, kind of anarchy being created over here. So I think now they are taking some right steps in the right direction, and we hope to see some good results out of them. Let's hope.
Thank you. Is there another question?
So I would like to know that you said that Afghanistan authorities are currently not dealing properly or amicably with Pakistan as of date. My question is, what is adding to their confidence to behave like that?
The confidence of Afghanistan's interim government is the consolidation of their power on the territory of Afghanistan. Previously, in the 90s, they didn't consolidate their power in Afghanistan. The Panjshir element was there, and they needed someone to back them to fight against the might of Northern Alliance, because Northern Alliance was a reality. They were being backed by the US, by the Indians, by other European countries. They had a huge cache of amount of cash and ammunition, and they were giving a hard time to the Taliban. The Taliban actually needed someone to back them to have a kind of strategic depth where they could have their hideouts and their training centers and all that, and they could retaliate back towards the northern side of Afghanistan. But this time around, they started from the north, and they have consolidated power towards the east and west. And now they know that there is no one internally inside Afghanistan to challenge their power. NRF is nowhere to be seen. It's a gone case. It's just there on the social media. ISKP, they have hunted them down. They are killing them right, left, and center. And in that process, they are also killing many other their political opponents as well. So they know there is no internal implosion that they can see in near future. So they are very much focused on their external targets. That's the confidence that they have right now. So if that confidence will be shaken, probably they will, start listening to other people.
Do we have any more questions?
Lithium is there, oil is there, gas, copper is there. Gas, they have certain reservoirs and pockets. That's beside the Amud Darya, it's there. Like I said, that they have inked around $6.77 billion mining projects with different entities and different countries just 2 weeks ago, and it was a huge success on their part. No, we are not. We are not. And when we saw that, my first reaction was this, that we are nowhere. So Pakistan is not there. Unfortunate it is on our part, because I by myself tried to lobby inside Pakistan's pharmaceutical industry that there is a huge vacuum of pharmaceutical element over there in Afghanistan. Right now, they need medicine, and they need people who can invest in the pharmaceutical industry inside Afghanistan. And there's a huge setup of pharmaceutical industry over here in Pakistan. But many of our businessmen and traders, they were just, wary of different security concerns that they, thought that that might hinder all the economic and trade between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And now that pharmaceutical industry will be, filled in by someone else. And the mining one is another aspect. They have done it indigenously, and they are carrying it out. They have a very good rapport and collaboration with the Uzbekistan, the state of Uzbekistan. They're very happy with Uzbekistan right now. When I visited Afghanistan and I asked one of the officials over there that which country do you think is most, friendly towards Afghanistan right now, they said Uzbekistan. I mean, this was the answer of almost every other official over there. So what we thought over here is that probably they would be thankful towards Pakistan. They're not. So they are looking towards Pakistan like really hardcore realists and rationalists, not like ideologues. I think there is no Kabul treaty in place or treaty in place between Pakistan and Afghanistan. I am not sure, because we were discussing this thing with some of the people in Afghanistan, and they said they told us, because I couldn't also find it, that there was perhaps there was no treaty between Pakistan and Afghanistan, and that is something which we need to work upon, because they have already given some hard time to Iran on the Herat Darya, and then they have given some tough time to Uzbekistan as well, but Uzbekistan obviously collaborated with them. So they will come down to Kabul River as well in near future.
Is there any?
Yeah. This was the offer very in the initial months by the one-time government towards India. They sent this message. They actually the Mullah Yaqub had an interview with the Indian channel, and he said it openly in that interview that India is very much welcome to Afghanistan. Then again, I would not name the official over here, but when I talked to him that what do you think about India and Indians' involvement in inside Afghanistan? On one hand, they said that we will not allow them to use Afghanistan's soil against Pakistan, but in the same breath, he said that India is a big economy, and we will be looking towards India if they will be interested in Afghanistan. So, like I said, they are hardcore rationalists and realists. They're not like following the ideological path like we consider them to be.
And what about their soldiers being trained in Indian military?
No, they have not. They brought them back. Some of them came back, but they didn't induct them in the current military setup.
Are they thinking of using that as a tactic?
Sir, even if they will, think about it, Pakistan may not have an impact because of that. Because, like I said, that in year 2021 and 2022, Pakistan used around 15.5 million metric ton of coal in different sectors. And out of that, around 9.5 million metric ton was the coal which Pakistan extracted from its own mines. So Pakistan is actually considering to use its own indigenous resources when it comes down to coal. That's one. Second is Pakistan already have alternative options. Pakistan was actually importing from South Africa and Malaysia. But Pakistan actually thought that, okay, we can, import something from Afghanistan on a cheaper rate. And then we made a blunder, and that blunder is something which we are now, the benefits we are reaping right now. But at the same time, if Afghanistan thinks that they will reduce the export towards Pakistan, this will not only impact the export of coal, but also export of other goods as well. So I don't think so they will be considering this. They are actually very much concerned about their exports towards Pakistan, because that is one of the major destinations, not only for their goods, but also for the exports.
Basically, my question stem from the fact that, from what you have described, it actually looks that.
Yes, but because Pakistan is already not having, a kind of direct access towards the Central Asian republics. Pakistan is actually striving to have that access through a peaceful territory of Afghanistan. But Afghanistan somehow, is a kind of paradox for Pakistan. The previous regime, they behaved in the same manner. Now the current regime, which Pakistan considered that would be Pakistan friendly, is behaving in the same manner. So Pakistan is actually suffering from this paradox of Afghanistan. So Pakistan has that leverage of blocking the trade of Afghanistan towards other countries, but Afghanistan doesn't have that much leverage on Pakistan when it comes down to this aspect. Like I said, it was there from the start. We actually didn't read the room. And we were in a euphoria that since we supported or, kept a blind eye on their activities when the war on terror was going on, and when US allied forces were here. So probably they will, return the favor. But they have a longer institutional memory at their end, and they think that Pakistan has betrayed them back in 2001, and now it's a payback time. That's one. The second is the ideological factor. They do not consider Pakistan as a pure Islamic state. They do not consider any other Islamic country as a pure Islamic state. So their rank and files, they actually consider that there is a hadith that says that jihad will not be stopped in any period of time around the world, not by the tyrant, not by the just kings. So when this hadith or this ideology comes into play, where will they wage the jihad then? So this is something which they have to, continuously deal with. This is second. The third one is that the policies of Pakistan, obviously, I'm not saying that Pakistan is perfect. Pakistan also played some kind of part and role in, fulfilling that prophecy which was in the mind of the Taliban, that Pakistan probably is a troublemaking country inside Afghanistan, and they will again start intervening, and they will start interfering like they did in the previous regimes. So this was the fourth factor which, played a major role. And then this TTP issue. So these are five, I think, major reasons and Taliban needs legitimacy, political legitimacy inside Afghanistan. Look, they are one, they are Pashtuns, overwhelmingly Pashtuns, and then secondly, they are religious Pashtuns. So to have that legitimacy inside the political spectrum, domestic political spectrum of Afghanistan, they have to carry out some sentiments or follow some sentiments which are already prevailing inside the political spectrum of Afghanistan, and those sentiments are hostile towards Pakistan. So this is the sixth one, I think.
I just wanted to ask, how do you view this coal issue? Do you think it's an isolated event that can be resolved sooner or later, or it's this coal one, or it's a part of and a parcel of a greater Afghan-Pakistan relations?
In longer extent, you see the impact of China in this Pakistan-Afghanistan relations, particularly when we are concerned about CPEC project. And you have mentioned that we are relying on now South Africa and Malaysia. What about BRICS? Because it is expanding, and in the era of multilateralism, how do you see, as Imran has mentioned, this issue is going to remain bilateral, or it can extend to larger?
As far as the coal is concerned, obviously Pakistan is trying, and probably there'll be some kind of development we may see in the coming few weeks, but I'm not very much hopeful. Again, the main issue is the security concern of Pakistan, because the state of Pakistan right now is more focused on the security aspect of Pakistan-Afghanistan relation. Every other thing is something which is, a subsection of that security concern, the major issue. Everything will go into shells or in pipelines, because the security issues are not being addressed. So that actually addresses the other question as well, that it may become a multilateral issue if because there is a proposition already been in circulation in different diplomatic circles that Pakistan should approach other regional countries and form up a security panel which may discuss these issues with the Afghan interim government and address those issues of Pakistan's security element. The third one is that the other one was your question was BRICS. China fought for it. India said that we do not want any other country in the BRICS, but China fought for it. And I think Chinese were already anticipating that the first country that would jump into that ship would be Pakistan, but we missed that ship. And other countries have, taken that opportunity. Probably down the line, we may go for that opportunity. As far as Chinese are concerned, probably they will play a role in, toning down the Afghan interim government, but I don't see any hope in that as well, because from a very realist point of view, Chinese seek their interest. And they, as per, some information by the investigative journalists, they are already in talks with TTP in Afghanistan. So why would they need Pakistan to address their security concerns if the Afghan interim government ensure them that their projects and their corridors will be secured in Afghanistan, and TTP or any other faction like Al-Qaeda or ETIM will not touch them? Why would they need Pakistan? So this is a big question mark for the Pakistani policymakers, and that is that Pakistan is very much concerned about TTP, that this needs to be resolved now. Otherwise, that will become a very huge problem for Pakistan. And like the security establishment of United States of America, just 3 or 4 days ago, their intelligence community gave a briefing to the Senate standing committee, and they said that we don't see any kind of threat emanating from Afghanistan anymore. So TTP is no more their problem. TTP is our problem. And that is where China also stands.
Are there any more participants willing to contribute? I guess not. To conclude our event, I will extend an invitation to the President, Nadeem Riaz, for a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Salman, for talking to us about a subject which obviously is something which is of concern to us. But just like in the question and answer session, it was clearly established that everything between Pakistan and Afghanistan is now subservient to the security paradigm and the security situation which is prevailing. I don't need to dwell into what is happening on the border or what is happening in Chitral or rather what happened in Chitral. The allegations and the counter allegations will continue from both sides. But one thing is very, very clear that the problems in Afghanistan, unless and until the issues of governance and stability is brought to Afghanistan, and these organizations which are deemed or regarded as a threat to regional countries, I specifically use the word regional countries. I think the element of connectivity within South Asia and to the Central Asian republics will remain a mirage. Now, as far as the TTP is concerned, or the other terrorist groups, so-called terrorist groups, because the definition of a terrorist group is different in the eyes of different countries of the world, are operating from within Afghan soil, you will see a lot of activity in the countries which are affected by it. You know, you mentioned China, so China is obviously not concerned about TTP, they are concerned about ETIM. Pakistan is virtually concerned about the TTP because nobody wants that the Afghan soil should be used by groups which are regarded as non-state actors to be operating from there and affecting the core interest of the countries which are bordering Afghanistan. India will continue to remain a great player. In Afghanistan, I personally feel that they played some of their cards very badly once the United States and NATO forces were withdrawing from Afghanistan. But I think they are making deep but slow inroads into the Afghan society as well as into the Afghan polity. So as the issue of legitimacy continues to await the Afghans, I think the question of political stability and controlling the various non-state actors operating in Afghanistan will continue to be a headache for the Taliban. I think the only group with which the Taliban are, I think, wary of and they deem that particular group as a threat is ISIK, or what you call as Daesh, because their agenda directly clashes with not the Afghan agenda of bringing peace and stability to Afghanistan, but they are two organizations which are at loggerheads with one another. As far as the barter trade with Pakistan is concerned, I think we'll see that sooner or later, it is just a matter of time. Peace will start prevailing on the border. The trade routes will open. The movement of people will start again. But I guess it is something which is not a long-lasting solution. The peace will not be long-lasting. The dispute and the things which are happening on the borders will not be long-lasting. But it's something which both the countries will have to work on. In my opinion, at least, like, you know, coal is something which, as a person who has strongly advocated the environment program, I think it's a dirty source of providing energy. And sooner or later, like, you know, with the global temperatures rising, with the COP around the corner, I think it's only a matter of time when the world will start forcing countries to give up on a dirty source of energy and try to move towards cleaner energy. But as we speak, I think trade is subservient to the security and political happenings between Pakistan and Afghanistan and between Afghanistan and its neighboring countries. Thank you very much, Salman, for sharing your views, because I just want to emphasize something. The views shared by Salman are not the views which are shared to you by an academic or by a person from the IRS. It is from a person who goes to Afghanistan, meets the Afghan population, meets the people, meets the Taliban, and he speaks to you from his real life experience and his real life interaction with the people who really matter. Thank you, Salman, for sparing time and being with us. And I think it was very educative. Very educative. Thank you.